Today's technology evolves with almost incomprehensible speed. Ever new, ever exciting, with endlessly fascinating stories to explore. Thus the birth of Overexposure.
As free as the wind, it's an old expression that in the midst of today's technology takes on much more significance than it has in the past. Invisible, free on loan as it breezes by. The answer was blowing in the wind. The idea of harnessing the wind for power is certainly not a novel concept. An endless resource, non-polluting, and absolutely free. Sailing vessels immediately come to mind, as do Dutch-style windmills, which can't escape comparison to today's wind turbines. While windmills in the Netherlands have been replaced by modern-day methods of performing their tasks as milling grains, water pumping, sawmilling, and other industrial purposes, some still remain as iconic symbols of the past. Today, there remains only 1,150 or so of the once estimated 10,000 windmills. In the 1800s, with Chicago serving as a major centralized railroad hub, Illinois had among the greatest concentration of custom windmills in the country. One of the earliest windmills was built in 1691, and interestingly enough, sold in 1773 to the founder of Chicago, John Baptiste Point du Sable. Appropriately enough, today Illinois is home to 22 operational and 22 proposed wind farms, some with hundreds of wind turbines. They proliferate vast open farmland in downstate Illinois, producing megawatts of electricity while providing a new revenue source for farmers. So, let's take an up-close look at one of these farms where electricity is grown. Here, 240 turbines dot the landscape, generating 396 megawatts of pollution-free energy, enough for 120,000 homes.
This is a representation of one of our turbines at Twin Groves. Our turbines are 80 meters tall from the base up to the center of the hub. At Tower 32 in Twin Groves 1, the power is being produced at 600 volts. Cables are bringing that power down, underground, and into the pad mount transformer. The pad mount transformer converts that energy from 600 volt to 34.5 kV. At that point, it's put into other cables. It goes underground from 32 onto another tower, going back to the substation to my left. That substation has another transformer that bumps up the power from 34.5 kV to 345 kV, or 345,000 volts. It's transmitted through the transformer onto high voltage transmission lines, which are to my left, and then it goes to the grid.
New technology combined with an old idea. Well, a gentleman named Charles F. Brush would beg to differ. In the winter of 1887, Mr. Brush invented the first automatically operated wind-driven turbine just for his own Cleveland, Ohio mansion. An imposing giant, this contraption stood some 60 feet tall and weighed in at 80,000 pounds. Despite its impressive size and its 408 batteries, it produced, by today's standard, an unimpressive 12 kilowatts of power at its peak. Today's turbines range in size from but a modest few feet tall to the massive E-126 behemoth, built by Germany's Intercom. Being 442 feet to the hub means that it exceeds the height of the Statue of Liberty by some 127 feet. The diameter of the blades measure 413 feet. To put this into perspective, a football field is 100 yards or 300 feet. Wind turbines of nearly equivalent size can be found usually about 200 feet off the coastline of many countries. A relatively small number of these huge turbines, spinning gently in the wind, yield a consistent bumper crop of clean, pure electric energy. No pollution, no radiation concerns. During earlier times in our history, most viewed our planet's natural resources as infinitely abundant. Pollution, little more than a short-lived bother that would eventually disappear into the vastness of the earth, with not even a thought given to any possible negative effects to the environment. Coal remains the primary source of electricity, now at about 45%, and nuclear power about 20%. Presently, though an impressive 83% of countries around the globe are using wind power on a commercial basis, the relative amount of electricity produced pales by comparison to other sources. We now have methods of green technology unheard of but a few years ago. Though it's pointless to attempt an accurate guess, it's a safe bet that considering the rapid advances in technology, we're in a win-win situation. Invisible, free on loan as it breezes by, the answer was blowing in the wind. And indeed, wind technology is the basis for this wondrous, captivating glimpse into its impact on today's world and our world tomorrow.